Hi guys, my name is Peggy here at Peggy Still Stitching. I am Peggy Still Stitching here and on Instagram, and I did try to reactivate like TikTok, but I don't really know if I'm going to use it. So if you have any Flosstubers, or like, I don't know, are we floss talkers? I don't know. Let me know down below, or give me a follow over there and like share them with me, or I don't know, I'd like to be engaged over there. I previously had some issues with my phone, which is what I used to film on, and just this last week I did actually get a new one, so this is the first time filming on this, and hopefully I can, there's no issues. But that's sort of why, again, there's always something that sort of happens that delay these videos out, which I'd love to get better at. And now that I do have the phone, my last one was like 6 years old, so it really is my own fault. But yeah, I think I have more new starts than progresses, but I'll just jump into it. I do have a little bit to talk about, and then yeah. All right, let's do it. So, I should have unzipped these beforehand. This one is from Stitch Rovia. It's A Little Magic, and I am doing the darker version. There's two versions on Etsy. One is for like cream fabric, so it's like some of the colors are just a bit different. And I'm not going to show a before photo because I think I had maybe done like 100 stitches. So I did pull it out and I've done some work on it. I know what the issue is with this, and it's that it's on a darker piece of fabric, so it is harder to stitch on it because I do need good lighting. So this is where I'm up to. So I finished the moon, I did like fill the buildings in with the purple, and I did this tree. And I really enjoyed it. So this is stitched on a piece of 18 count Aida from Color Cascade Fabrics, and this is the color Sorcerer. So yeah, like it's slightly modeled. I had previously like semi-kitted this up with just a piece of navy Zwagger Aida, and when I saw this with that slight modeling, I was like, yeah, it just didn't feel right to start it on like plain fabric, now that like I'd bought that Aida before I'd got into the world of hand-dyed fabrics. So I really like how that one's looking, and I started that last year in September, so has had zero work really since I started it and did those initial stitches. The second one I want to talk about, I've done a lot of work on this, and I'm actually nearly finished, so I would love to get this done by my next video. This is from, where are you from? This is the Halloween Just Cross Stitch magazine from 2024. And I don't think I can show a picture of what this is meant to look like. Oh no, I can, because it's just, I'll just show you straight from the magazine, because it's one that's hard to like, and I am stitching them like all across. Yeah, so this, probably already seen where I'm up to now, but this is where I'm up to. So I've done all of the male skeleton, and I'm now onto the female skeleton, and I've done the middle section, so I am almost done. Like that's the bottom there, so I've just got to come across. I've done all of the hair, so just basically the white, and then finish off this border, and it's done. I feel like, there we go. I feel like when it's too far away, it looks like it sort of blends in, but it doesn't. And the skeleton is like, you can definitely see it like in real life. So I don't know how it's going to show up on camera, but yeah. This is stitched on a piece of 18 count Aida, This is from Fancy Fabric, which I don't believe she's dyeing anymore. This was their fabric of the month for August 2023, so it was a while ago, in koala. So yeah, I'm stitching this outside bit. I think it calls for 310, but I am stitching it in Classic Colourworks Black Coffee. So I really like this colour. Not my next project, but coming along is also done in that, and I've really enjoyed stitching with it actually. It was one of the first fancy flosses that I'd ever used, so that was nice because I came from, you know, learning from my nan who used cream or white 14 count Ada with just DMC, and I like, you know, when she stitched, these things probably weren't available, or if they were hard to get. So yeah. The next one I did very minimal on, but this is the Vanity Sampler from Hello from Liz Matthews. I'm just going to show you the cover photos. This is lovely. I'm stitching this in the, it's like the goth conversion that Cam the Stitcher did. I think she's finished hers. Her and Bridge and the Museum Stitcher finished theirs, I believe, last year. So I'll link her down below, but I know the conversion I'm using is on her Instagram. So check her out there too. But this is the big one. This is where I'm up to, and I know I did all of this. That's new. I might have done, I don't want to lie and tell you I did something that I didn't, but I definitely did this whole motif here, which, because this is such a big pattern, it looks like I didn't do anything, but it was like a couple of hundred stitches. So that's that. And then this one is stitched on a piece of 18 count Turbulent from Paddock Lane Designs. This is like top 5 out of the fabrics that she dyes. So if you were, you know, curious about checking out Lisa's fabrics over at Paddock Lane Designs, Turbulent is one I would definitely recommend because of its like modeling, but it's not modeled too crazy, and they're just such beautiful, beautiful fabric. So that's where I am up to. I would like to get more work done on that, but it's such a big project that I stitch a lot in the car and just like casually on the lounge, where like this is such a big piece and there's so many, you know, pages to go with the pattern, that sometimes I can find that one a little bit like almost overwhelming. So I'll just, you know, casually stitch on it and, you know, see where we get. This is my favorite at the moment. So I will insert, so this is Arabesque by Jan Hicks Creates. So this is a picture of the actual pattern. And then this is where I was up to the last time you saw it. And I think I've done a bit on this. Well, I'm hoping I did a bit on this because I felt like I did, but you know, because it's been a while since I filmed that video, sometimes, you know, you think you've done more than what you have. So this is where I am up to. So I know that I would have finished these letters because I think the page breaks like here. And then I've come down, done some of this, done the first key, there's another key just below it, and done all this. So this is stitched in that Classic Colourworks Black Coffee, and it's so nice to stitch with. And this is a piece of Autumn Leaves in 18 count from Paddock Lane Designs as well. So I just think it looks so good. Like it's just beautiful. And I bought this piece of fabric at, where did I buy it? The JK's cross stitching retreat, so September last year. and I bought it in person because I do have another piece of this, and it's not, oh, it's a bit of a mess in that drawer, but it's not as mottled, and I can see that it like is busy, but for this pattern, I just think it works, and I just think it looks like stunning. So I'm very, very happy with how that one is looking. I think that is all for like ones that you would have definitely seen before. I have done quite a few new starts. I'm gonna start, I think, with the smallest amount of progress. And there's like just a bit of a story to this. So I am stitching this for my sister. So my sister is pregnant and she is having a little boy, and it's her first baby. So I'm very excited. Me and my sister are quite close, and like she watches these videos. So yeah, and I recently like unpacked, like I'd already done some of this, but I unpacked like all the patterns that were my nan's, and I found, so in my nan's house there were 2 of these on the wall. So one is Why God Made Little Girls. Now, I'm not religious, my sister's not religious, it's just that these were in my nan's house. So one is Why God Made Little Girls, and she was a grandmother of, one, two, three, four, five, six girls to begin with. So my little brother was the first boy, but the first 6 grandkids were all girls. So she, and it's lovely, like she's got her writing on there. I just love seeing her writing on all of her old patterns. So she made this one in 1997 for herself to celebrate 6 granddaughters, which I just think like that she's written that, and I don't know, I just love that. But this one she also had, but this one she hasn't written on. So I think in between that time and this time, she like invested in a copy, like a photocopier, because there's like writing on where she did the pattern, and on this one there's not. So this is Why God Made Little Girls, and not little girls, little boys. Both of these are from Stony Creek, so I don't know if they're available. The copyright on them is, I don't actually think it's even, is 1987 for the boys and 1987 for the girls. So I don't know if they're available. I don't know if you could find them, but yes, I am doing this one for my sister. And I'll tell you what, like patterns back then, I have done maybe 300 stitches, and it took me forever because of the amount of color changes. So like it's cool and it looks, not, patterns just wouldn't be made like that now though for something so small. So I did tell my sister that, you know, it might much be like, you know, some of the other things I've made her that take a lot longer, then it definitely won't be done by the time the baby's here. But that's okay, she'll be busy being a mum for the first time and all of that. But yeah, this is where I am up to. So this is like 300, maybe 400 stitches. It doesn't look like that. Like it looks like so little, and just color change galore. There's just so many color changes. So, and I found that with all, you know, Stony Creek patterns, but yeah. And this is stitched on a piece of 18 count. I think it's like ovine or something. I lost the card, but it was a fabric of the month, from Lisa. So yeah, it's nice. I think that it's going to look really good on there. And yeah, that is where I'm up to. That was a lot of explaining for such a small amount of stitching, but anyway, yeah. So that is it. Oh, yep. It was November 2023's fabric of the month in Olvine. Okay. The next one, oh, I've got, how many have I got? Oh, I've got 3 more. So this one, I am going to put a picture of it up here And it is, maybe, hopefully I didn't just show the pattern. I don't think I did, but you know. It's called Things I Know for Certain, and it's from it's MKISSA Creations. So Marissa Nichols Creations. I just got it off Etsy. For one of the girls at work like loves practical magic, and we were talking about like the new movie coming out, and anyway, so she found this and said, I want this, and I complied, because just do it as I'm told. Just do as you're told. When it comes to crafting, it's fine. And I have done basically all the lettering. And I did do this all in the called for, except for the red, which I did use a overdyed from Cottage Garden Threads. But it was like from the nude pack, so I don't have like the name of it or anything. But so the bottom is just going to be slightly variegated. And I like bought this fabric, had no idea what to do with it, and it actually looks really good and suits. So I'm glad that I had it, because it's the only thing like it in my fabric stash at the moment. So this is Royal Mare from Paddock Lane Designs in 18 count. I have actually ordered another piece of this because I think it's like good to just have something like this in your stash. I'd like to do, you know, the Salem Witches from, oh, who is it? Is it the Witchy Stitcher? Where it's got like the names of like the Salem Witches. I think that would look really cool on this like dark fabric. Like it's like aged and like looks old. I don't know. But yeah, very happy with how that's looking. I was actually surprised by how big the piece was. Like the words are really big, so it will fit, but it's had to be like quite tight to the side. So I'll worry about framing it like when I get there. But it's a lot bigger than I imagined, and I've still got to do like the witches. So will that come down to like here? Like it's bigger than A4, which I was just, I don't know. I was just surprised that it was that big, to be honest. But that is why we measure our fabrics and we do all those things, so we don't have any issues like that. So I did check, it's gonna fit, it's just like tight to the edges, which is fine. Okay, this is literally all Laura from Stitching by the Short's fault. She's mentioned me in it. She knew that I wanted to do it, and I don't really know what happened because I had no plans of starting this because I have two others on the go. But this is the Snow White tree from Tiny Modernist. This one was actually really hard to pick fabric for, so I pulled out like 5 different fabrics and I just couldn't like decide on something. And I think because my go-to is like my top drawer, which is all Paddock Lane Designs, but I just couldn't find like that piece. And so then I remembered I had a piece from Color Cascade Fabrics, and I was like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna work. And I pulled it out, and I think that it does. Like, it's just really hard to pick fabric for this pattern, and I still want to use my hand dyed fabrics. I didn't want to go something like plain because I've now started, I've got 3 now, including this one on the go, and I've finished 2, and all of them have been on, you know, a hand dyed fabric. They're a bit different, and that's just what I like. So when I found this in my stash, I was very excited. Oh, sorry. This is where I'm up to. So this was a new start. I am stitching this on Angel of the Morning from Color Cascade Fabrics in 18 count Ada. So it's like got a slight color to it, but it's not pink or purple, and that's the issue. So these flowers are like that light pinky purpley sort of like, and that's where I was getting lost. So some of the fabrics I chose had that in them, but then those flowers would have blended too much. Yeah, so very happy with my choices there, and I think it looks good. On that, I've recently not been very well, and I spent like 5 days at home, and like everyone was talking crap about the Snow White like live animation version of Snow White that was released, and I watched that over the weekend because I've basically been couch ridden, and I really enjoyed it. And I like, people were saying it wasn't very good and they didn't like it, so I don't know if it's because I went in with like low expectations, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I like the way that they introduced the prince properly, so it wasn't just like a strange man kissing her and oh, she's in love, you know, with a bloke she saw out her window like the original. I thought that was well done. I really enjoyed like the music aspects and stuff. I thought it was like good. But I don't know, yeah, if because there was so much about it that like, yeah, I enjoyed it more. Because then I watched Wicked, and everyone's raved about Wicked, and like people have made Wicked like their whole personality. And like it was good, but like, was it all the hype around it? And yeah, like I don't know. Don't get me wrong, it was still good, but was it like, for the hate that Snow White got and the love that Wicked got, I was just a little bit like, oh, okay, like I don't know. But leave comments down below what you think on that, because I just think it's interesting that I think that like they focused on one issue that people had with Snow White and just held on to that, and it was like every other part of the movie didn't happen because they just held on to like one issue that, you know, everyone knows. Where like Wicked, they didn't, it was just so hyped up that I just thought it was going to be like phenomenal, and you know, it was good, and there was something like that really, like I really enjoyed. But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling now. Okay, oh, my thread for that practical magic one. Okay, and then this, I love this. This has actually just been released now on Etsy because I was a member of her Patreon, and you were getting a pattern once a month, and I really liked the patterns. And then she started doing like a Twin Peaks based like pattern, so every month something was released to go into that, which is fine. It's, you know, her Patreon, do what you, but it just wasn't like, I'm not going to stitch that, so I just jumped off for the moment, and I'll just sort of see what happens. But this is the pattern. I love it so much. I think it's beautiful, and I have been dying to use the fabric I put this on for ages. I have like 3 pieces of this fabric, so just finding things that will work on it. I really like it. So this is a massive amount of stitching. It doesn't seem like it is, but it is. So I've like left my needle hanging in the side there. So this is where I'm up to. It was a lot of stitching. I'm actually also as well, this calls for 310. And I'm blaming Laura again from Stitching by the Shore, but I had some Anchor Black, and she uses Anchor Black instead of 310. And I was like, oh, I'll give it a go. Like, it's just one pattern, and it is thicker, and like I stitch on 18 count anyway. So this is 18 count Lavender Parfait from Patty Clean Designs. And like, yeah, I just think it's lovely. Then this is a massive piece, and I have 3, you know, big pieces. 2, this and 2 more. So I've got a lot of fabric in this, and I just think it looks lovely. And I can't wait to do her face. I just think she's so beautiful, and I am very excited. But this has a lot of like, in the DMC, like the early numbers, like 1, 2, 3, you know. And I actually don't have all of the colors, so I started with, you know, the top, and I think I got distracted, so that happens. But that is all the stitching I've been doing. So as you can see, I did spend a lot of time on new starts, And I think that that's a thing that I hyper focus on, that, you know, new start, and I do like 1,000 stitches and then I sort of like, ooh, something else is shiny, and I kind of go over there. So I don't know, that happens. Okay. For my haul, so this is the reason I jumped on to even film this today, was I only had like one piece of fabric come in, and then I was waiting on the Crafty Leanie fabric of the month. So yeah, and then what I actually am going to do is, I haven't opened it yet, so I'm going to open it here, which is exciting, and it literally came out of my mailbox today. So yeah, I'm going to start with Paddock Lane's fabric of the month. So this was June, this is June 2025 fabric of the month, and it is blueberry frosting. That's half of it. I'll open it. I get a large piece. Do I need a large piece? No, probably not, but like, am I happy to have it? Always. I think this is sort of like making it more, it's more pink. Like if I put it, I think that that's a more accurate, when I hold it up like this, it just looks more purple. And I have my big light on as well, so maybe that's, but this is very nice. It's really nice. Yeah, so if you are interested in her fabric of the month, it's done through like her Patreon. You can do it through her website, but like she's moved it all, sort of wants it over on Patreon. So you can check that out. She does different sizes. So she does the large, and then I'm gonna open this, it could be noisy. And then she does the smalls, which, do I have a small? Yeah, so then she'll do like a small, oh, this is a smaller small. And then she also does the fat quarter. Is this a small? No, let's put that back. And then she does a fat quarter. What size are you? A medium. So I could have picked 2 different color fabrics, but instead I picked the same. That's fine. So the small to the medium fat quarter, and then I get the large. So I'll just sort of show that as well. So it's slightly bigger. Yeah. I just made a big mess of that. That's fine. I love organizing that drawer, so that's great. But yeah, so if you are interested in her fabric of the month, go and check her out on Patreon. You can also buy like the last couple of fabric of the month, and I know now she's just started, you can actually choose. So she's offering like a brights, a neutrals, or like a modeled fabric of the month, so it's a little bit more personal to what you like, which I think is important to some people, because whilst you might be okay with, you know, a surprise, you still want a surprise that you can use. And yeah, that's nice, because like I don't want to say that in case, like, because I haven't opened this yet, I haven't seen it, but like I don't love yellow. Something creamy, something blue with yellow, like something with a bit of yellow like modeled through it is fine. Something is just all yellow, I just don't know what I will use, and that's just my personal preference. So it's sort of nice, and I think she knows that too. If she doesn't, she does now. But yeah, so I think that that's a really good way of having a fabric of the month and it still being something that you want, because yeah, if you wait for it all month and then it's a color you don't like I get that sort of disappointment that you could have. I haven't felt that. I haven't had any sort of fabric from her in the fabric of the month where I've been like, ew, I don't want that. But I know that, you know, not everyone is going to want a bright piece of purple and wouldn't know what to do with that. And I think that that's where this change for her is great. I think she's only been doing fabric of the month since, I think it was the middle of 2023 that it started, because I was part of, like, I've been part of it since then. But now I think that, you know, it is getting, I think she's getting more popular and like her business is growing and things like that, which is awesome. So offering that sort of flexibility in colors and is great. And then when you are on the Patreon, you obviously can then order previous fabric of the months before they hit the website, which I think is nice as well, because I know I've gotten some pieces in the fabric of the month that I love, and then I had to sort of wait and see if they came out, or message Lisa and be like, Lisa, I love it, make me more. So I don't know. Yeah, anyway, let's open this. It's wrapped up, so even if I did look, now if it is yellow, I won't be sad, I swear. This is so funny how this happens. Okay, so this is called Oleander, and I'm just gonna take the little tag off because like it has like these cute little like tags that says what it's called, and it's like clipped on. This is pretty. So this is this month's fabric of the month from Crafty Leanie. So I get a piece of 18 count Aida, and this is really pretty. I really like this. Of course I do, because it's, you know, a purpley pink mix. Oh, I think it's really nice. Yeah, so see how like she ice dyes? This is the thing, like I think there's a hand dyer for everyone depending on what you're into. But Lisa like does do some modeled, and you can ask for it and like she'll do it, but hers are more even toned because like it's, I don't know how she dyes. I'm not gonna pretend I do, but like the ice dyeing that Crafty Leanie does, it's just so different. So that's where like I've found my like happy place with my fabric of the months, is I get sort of, you know, that more wild fabric, and then, you know, it is still clearly mottled, but it's just softer. Yeah, and I love that because there's something out there for everybody, and there should be. We don't all like the same things. Maybe you are like me and you like a little bit of both, so you can have them in your drawer and decide as you go. But yeah. So that is everything for this month. I actually thought that this would take me longer than it did, so I am impressed with myself, or it talked really fast. I don't know. I am preparing, so I did do this video in the afternoon after work, which I generally don't do, but this weekend I do want to film my mid-year whip parade. So I had planned to do it like weekend just gone, but I got a kidney infection. I haven't been well, so hopefully I'm all good, and this weekend I can have that ready. And I do sort of have projects around the place, so from different videos or from when we moved, and so I just need to compile everything, get it together, get it in one spot, and figure out how I'm going to film that here, because previously I've had, you know, storage around me or like filmed next to my bed or whatever, so that's where I just sort of have to figure that out. Where here it is just a room, and there's like my cross stitch stuff and then like actual bookcase, so I'll just have to figure out how I'm gonna do it, and not completely trash the place, which I mean, it happens, I will trash the place, it's just how it works. But in theory, I'd like to not regret the whole thing after I've done it. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you made it to the end, leave me a purple love heart to go with my purple fabric of the months. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.